Being awake inside a corpse is the worst feeling in the whole world. It's absolutely terrifying. And it's a symptom of narcolepsy that I had no idea had anything to do with narcolepsy at the time. Always with emotions, laughter, or if I was annoyed or surprised, my muscles were giving out on me. I was driving 15 minutes to school in the morning. After getting 9 or 10 hours of sleep, I remembered getting on the highway. I remember feeling a little bit sleepy as I'm getting off the highway. And next thing I remember, I woke up in the parking lot of law school. My seat was reclined. I was fine, but I didn't remember having gotten there. I couldn't put the pictures together in my head of arriving at school, picking a parking spot. And that really scared me. And for the first time, I thought, maybe I have a sleep problem. This is not normal. I was diagnosed with narcolepsy at age 24, but my symptoms started probably around 18 or 19. It can be really challenging to get people to understand narcolepsy. Everyone has experienced sleepiness. And so to explain to people, oh, I'm feeling sleepy, I need to take a nap, they think that's just sort of like a fun thing to do by choice. And the sleepiness of narcolepsy is like as if I'd stayed awake for 48 to 72 hours. That's the violent call to sleep I experience on a daily basis. I felt really isolated from my friends and family, that they didn't really get it and I didn't know how to explain it. I really wanted to change people's perceptions and open people's hearts and minds to the real illness. I founded Project Sleep to raise awareness about sleep health and sleep disorders. Project Sleep runs the Sleep Walk series. We have sleep walks around the country, bringing people together. Then we have the Jack and Julie Narcolepsy Scholarship, which is the first ever scholarship program for students with narcolepsy. And this year we just gave out 10 scholarships to 10 students. I wrote a memoir of narcolepsy called Wide Awake and Dreaming, a memoir of narcolepsy. I published that in 2012. I hear from people all over the world saying that when they read my book for the first time, they didn't feel alone. And I kept getting these messages from people saying that. Started to realize so many people out there feel so isolated, but I know they're not because I'm hearing from hundreds of them. I started the Narcolepsy Not Alone campaign to raise awareness about narcolepsy because it is so invisible. I hear people say all the time, "You're the first person I've met with narcolepsy." And I'm not so sure that's true. There are people with narcolepsy all over the place. 1 in every 2,000 people have narcolepsy, so it's really not that rare. But it's invisible. When I was diagnosed with narcolepsy at age 24, I was excited to tell my friends and family. Finally, I had real medical terms to describe my mysterious experiences. But I wasn't ready for their reactions. One of my best friends looked at me like I was from another planet. Other people changed the conversation quickly. Some people laughed in my face. My experience hadn't been a joke at all. In fact, when I was 21, I woke in the middle of the night to see a burglar with his arm stretched out towards my neck to strangle me. Next thing I looked up and he wasn't there. It was a vivid hallucination. He never had been there, but he kept coming back during the night to terrorize me. I also had excruciating sleepiness during the day and times when everyday emotions like laughter would cause my body to collapse to the ground, paralyzed while conscious, a bit like feeling like you're awake inside a corpse. These very real symptoms of narcolepsy are demoralizing, embarrassing, terrifying, and dangerous. But the only thing worse than all of that was feeling like no one understood me. After getting so many bad reactions, I just stopped telling people and kept my narcolepsy private. So I felt increasingly isolated and mad as hell. I would be by myself in my car and scream at the top of my lungs with a rage I'd never felt before in my whole life. I went in to study rare disease law in law school and put my passion into that. When I graduated, I kept my narcolepsy private for 2 years, and I realized we were caught in this catch-22. We didn't like misconceptions of narcolepsy, so we stayed silent, perpetuating misconceptions and our silence. Someone had to break the cycle. I went on to write a memoir about narcolepsy, become a blogger, and move to Washington, D.C. to advocate. By me telling my story, other people realized that they weren't alone either. See, we don't always have a cure for the diseases, but we do have a cure for the loneliness today. This is why I founded the Narcolepsy Not Alone campaign. With 1 in every 2,000 people living with narcolepsy around the world, we don't need to feel like we're alone. We've had collected over 1,300 photos from all 50 US states and 48 countries around the world. And speaking with people internationally, our stories are so similar. Despite the very real adversity of the symptoms and adjusting to treatments, it is always the social disconnect that hurts the most. I honestly feel that feeling isolated and alone should be a symptom of narcolepsy, so it is listed on the top of everyone's minds in how you treat patients facing these challenges. I'm not sure if we completely realize this wound is there until you start to heal it. I remember the very first time I met another person with narcolepsy. We talked for hours in her car, and I remember thinking, she's cool. I don't know what I expected, but I was really surprised to learn that she was awesome, and she was just like me. So, in talking to medical communities, though, about the importance of social support, I often feel that eyes glaze over, and I'm not sure they quite get it. So let me be clear. I believe that if you are not talking to your patients about the importance of social support, you are making a medical error. You can help people find these connections. You can prescribe me. Prescribe another patient with the illness. Prescribe support groups and online communities. Some patients may not be ready for it yet, and that's okay. But plant the seed anyway and let them know that truly other people are out there living with these conditions. What does this mean? It means empowerment. It means taking off the mask and showing the world who you are. It means that the next time that someone laughs in my face at my serious illness, I can close my eyes and I can think of all the people around the world who understand. And I can smile.